Hey guys, this is Eddie with the Crippled Handyman. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I want to thank all the new subscribers out there for subscribing to my channel. And for those of you who go through, hey, just hit that subscribe button. Do a click. It's free. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Oh my God. So what's been new? Besides the little videos I've been putting out, um, you know, in life, I think this is with anybody and anybody. This is everybody in life. Maybe those few, maybe what, one or two, where you never have. I don't want to say, well, I guess you could have, you can definitely have tragedies. Things bad happen to you, um, bad luck, or you feel like you're on a bad luck streak, or the people that it seems like everything's going super good, or everything is going smooth, right? And I would have to say things, things for us, everything's been um, good. Yeah, good, real good. And of course, you see there's something missing. My truck. My truck is missing. And it's at my mechanics. And as during this video, the truck is going to be getting towed from my mechanics to a transmission shop, um, about 40 minutes away. And so I think they're just under about 45 minutes from here from my house. So this is what happened. If you watch any of my videos about my truck with my transmission, I encourage you go watch them, so you don't get too bored. Um, my transmission was acting up about 2 years ago. I had towed a trailer full of stuff when we were moving into this house from Denver. And after that tow, I dropped off the trailer. In overdrive, my truck would literally just shake. I would have to hit the gas to make it stop. I could accelerate, it will downshift, it will shift into reverse, it will shift in all of the gears with no problems. It was just that overdrive gear where it would just vibrate so intensely. And it's been doing it literally every single day for over 2 years. And 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, can't recollect. You have to look at those old videos. Um, I went to make an appointment with my mechanic. And once I pulled out of his parking lot, stopped doing it. My appointment was like a week and a half later. Never did it. He checked it out, put it on the lift, and I'll show you a little picture of it on the lift. And checked the U joints. Those U joints were fine. Drive shaft was fine. Couldn't find any issues. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm out of the clear. I don't have to waste 4 or 5 grand, right? Because these were quotes I was getting. Saturday, this past Saturday, which would have been the what was Saturday? So we get the dates right. Um, the 4th, Saturday, May 4th. My wife and I were in the store. Get a great phone call versus Friday's phone call. Talked about the ring, the bling bling ring. She said new rings in. Like, cool. I asked my wife. She was tired. She was fighting this ear infection. We are in the ER. Um, Friday? Maybe it was that Saturday. She had like, she couldn't hear out of it. She cleaned her ear out. and basically what it got irritated. What happened was there was a lot of fluid. I guess in the inner canal, it was like bubbled. Thank God nothing was torn or anything. So she took some like Benadryl and cleared it and all that stuff. That's what the ER guys, the urgent care dude said to do. And she's rubbing it. She's like, it's so weird. I could hear like swishing sound. And I guess we were both relieved that there was no damage, ear damage, in her profession. She needs her hearing without having to do sign language, as a, practitioner. But we ended up going grocery shopping afterwards. She was, I guess when you find out it's, okay, now you know what the root cause was. But we're at the store. We found out the ring was in town. So we went to the jeweler, got the ring. We went out for dinner. Afterward, we tried out in the Colorado Springs in the main heart of town. I think it was on Union, Union Street, Nevada, Union. It's called The Famous. It's a steakhouse. Very good steak. Top notch steak. The asparagus was cooked perfectly. What else did I have with that? And the bread, the fresh cooked bread was super yummy. Almost as good as my wife's homemade bread. So that place is about 45 minutes from our house. And the truck's still like 3 weeks, almost 4 weeks. No more of that shaky. Coming home, and we um, get to a stoplight, and there was like a stall. I felt like someone was like, it's like you were pressing the brake and trying to give gas, and then let off the brake, and then it would go. That was kind of like it was like a stall, like a surge, where something was holding it from like the gear to kick in on a trans, where you just hit the gas, it just moves freely. And so in my back of my mind, I'm going, oh, now what? Park next morning, I'm doing some renovation in the foyer. Go check out some of those videos. On episode 4, I pull my truck out. Huge puddle of transmission fluid. Look underneath the truck, and the whole underside is just soaked with transmission fluid. I'm like, shoot. Dropped it off at my mechanic on Monday. And yesterday, he did get around looking at it. There's some seal that's blowing. They're not transmission people. And he's had a hard time even trying to find a transmission. If he would do a flop, a, just a complete exchange, but he's just doesn't have the time and recommended this other transmission shop. And so my truck is actually en route right now as I'm speaking to this transmission shop. Got a quote for it to get done. It's got to get done. But in the meantime, it's like everything in life, it's like, oh, cool. I just saved myself $4,000 to $5,000. You know what I mean? And we didn't spend that money. Well, kind of. I'll tell you, there's more to the story. So now we're down to one car. Garage is empty. I don't have a vehicle in there. So why is it with life when everything is going just smooth, everything's going good, there's no stress, having no credit card debt, having no like unexpected expenses? Those are what hurt you. Those are what hurt every American people, anybody in the world, that unexpected expense. You could be smooth sailing unless you're a multimillionaire and you're very good with money and you literally got millions and millions in investments, and you know when you're doing very well, you could blow 100 grand at the casino and lose it. When you're at that level of wealth, something like this isn't a big deal. Like, I'll just go buy a new car, right? But for us average Americans, and this inflation is insane. Um, I just shake my head. Um, I just shake my head everywhere I go. I told you just a little bit of material I bought for the foyer, what that cost. Like 15 2x4s, 3 sheets of drywall, a sheet of plywood, a quart of paint, a roller, and some screws. 3 1-pound boxes of screws. That cost me $227. That should only cost like $80. You know, it's just these unexpected expenses are just so freaking aggravating when you're on track and you're making your goals or you're setting goals and you're shooting to make them happen in a reality. And something shit happens every effing time. It never fails. My whole life, it always, always. I know I'm not alone. I keep my head up and I just keep pushing forward and just get through it and figure it out. It's like, okay, how are we going to do this? Okay, how are we going to manage this? Or how are we going to do this? You know, we always make it happen. And by living as simple as we live, regardless of like the kind of house I live in, it was a blessing. You know, rates were cheap, sold a house, made money. There's a lot of people in that same boat. I didn't make as much money as like some people were making. I'll give you an example. This guy where I pick up food. Of course, I can't pick up food for the food pantry now. None. I felt so bad because of the fact like when I go to Alaska, I leave May 18th, and May 15th would be my last day of actually picking up food, and I have to like this all happened Saturday, and I'm texting the lady, great person. I love great people, and have to give her the bad news like um because they haven't found any replacements for me, and now they're like, I don't even know who the hell is picking up the food. I can't drive anywhere. I mean, if they want me to borrow, use their truck, I'd be more than happy and still, fulfill my time to be picking up food. But it's like it put a big dent. It's a big burden or damper, roadblock, wall. It just, thank God, it just, you know, remember that one song? I forgot how it goes. It was back in the 80s or 90s. More money, more problems. It's true. The more money you make, the more problems. Let's see if you can hear my dogs. I hope not. More money, more problems. I guess I don't know. Maybe the more maybe you putting yourself into situations where you're having more problems. But it's just this whole truck situation. Like literally, we last year, we spent 10 grand putting a new motor in my wife's car. It was a decision of 40 grand for another vehicle because I'm like, okay, we own the car, and I don't want to buy a cheap car and then find out it's got a bad motor or trans, and I'm still putting 8-10 grand in the car. And her car, we just had the transmission done 3 years prior, totally rebuild. I'm like, F it, just made sense to just put the new trans in there. And that sucked. And um honestly, we didn't have the finances for it. I didn't have 10 grand. Um I had family lend me money and we paid them back. And that was a relief. Just be like, phew, get that off of our chest. You know, nobody wants to owe anybody money, but I'm grateful. So, so, so grateful. We had a lot going on. So many things. I mean, it's amazing how one year to the next, how your life could be like in such a more positive um, place. Um, we still would have made things work, but there was not like that. We all want to have fun. We want a vacation. We want to do our shit. go out to a nice dinner. So we like cracked down January of 23, doing nothing to get out of a situation and figure out a thing. Her new job started, and that was a blessing. I mean, that was just a huge pay jump, and that just. But you still got to catch up. You're in the hole. You're in the red. You got to get out of the red. And it's really easy. It's like I could sell the house, and make 800 grand, right? Why? Leaving it. It's like it just ticks me off. My mom's like, "Oh, you got all this money?" It's like it's in the house. No, I don't. It's like you could have $100,000 baseball card, right? Oh, you're rich. Well, you still have to sell that baseball card. You don't have the 100,000 sitting in your account, liquid. Like, boom, go to the ATM or walk in the bank, write yourself a check for 20 grand, and boom. Doesn't work like that with equity. You have to take out a loan, so then you're borrowing. Now it's against your house. Now you owe more money. So you have to sell that piece of property or that artifact to actually have that income. So net worth, yes, we're sitting beautifully. But as far as like during that time, as far as like what we had a little bit, but not enough to cover. I think the total repair was because we had them do a couple other things. I just like, screw it, just get that shit done too. I think it was just getting all new brakes done, the rotors and whatever. I might just do it, just get it done. And I think it was like almost 11.5. So we had to come up with $1,500, which went on a credit card. Like most Americans, we all go through this shit. And so we hunkered down for like 18 months. We hunkered down. And a lot of people do it. Like if you're into Dave Ramsey, if you're into David Caleb Hammer, it's like make more money. Step one, watch your spending. I don't know if they say that, but they do talk about how can you increase your income. Her income increased, and what else? How else we save money? Not going out, like literally not going out. We didn't do anything. We had to be very strict with everything. But it's just getting back with this effing transmission. It's just all these unexpected deals. And it's like it's not to the point, like I said, we're in a comfortable place right now. And because of that, we hunkered down. Just set these it was a decision to get out of this situation. So that saying Dave Ramsey says, live like no one else so you can live like no one else. And we did that for 18 months. And after, had a $300 dinner, we can afford that. We don't do it every weekend. I said we do that once a month. We do something very, very nice. I allocate $500 no matter what. If it's a one dinner deal for $500, or we do two $200 ones, you know what I mean? It's about hunkering down and making it happen. But it doesn't matter how well everything's going in life. For me, personally, and I'm sure there's millions of people out there that go through this same shit, where something happens, and it's not just a $50 freaking cost. Maybe your furnace went out. Maybe your freaking refrigerator went out. Everything is so expensive. I had a quote to get my transmission done 3 years ago. $2,500. My wife's was done. He did it for $3,500 because it was something funky because the way it's mounted on the vehicle. And he goes, I could do yours for $2,500. I should have taken it. because a new quote, and it's ballpark $4,200. I got to come up with. Yeah. So it's like it doesn't even freaking matter how good things are going. It's not the point. Like, yeah, now we can afford $4,200. You know, it just sucks. You know what I mean? That $4,200 we're planning on whatever play money. Or just it's security, and it goes to this unexpected type thing. And that's the thing with life. There's no guarantees of anything in life, and no matter how good things are going, you don't think about anything negative ever. You don't want to. You want to keep everything in a positive manner always, and just keep moving forward. Keep your head up. Don't let these things. In the moment, yeah, you're discouraged. You're saddened or whatever emotion you're feeling. Those are all normal, natural emotions, and it's okay to go through all that. It's like my ring. I had a warranty on my ring. Thank God. You know, I mean, it sucks. The situation sucks. Went through my emotions, and thank God for the warranty. It just okay, cool. You know, didn't cost us anything. The same warranty exists on this ring. It would have sucked if we didn't pay for that. I mean, that was 10 years ago, and they still honored it, which I think is badass. Leaving a comment like, "What is some? Everything's going cool, and what happened unexpectedly that none of this is ever prepared for, ever." When I sat down with my stepson before he was going out on his own and going through bills and how life is, and on the one item is like unexpected, and it was a question mark. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "It could be anything. Get in a car wreck, you need a new tire, or you need a new radiator, you need a new windshield, you break your arm, you lose time off work, anything." But when you're a homeowner, it gets the risks get higher. Being a renter, low risks. Regardless of how expensive everything is renting, you have no low risks. The only risk that you can have, and it's terrible, I've seen it happen. You've seen it on the news where somebody fell asleep and burnt down the apartment complex, and you're part of that building, and all your shit's gone. Regardless of insurance that covers it, every place that went to, they required a $75,000, and that was like to cover all of our shit, personal belongings. That's all you have to worry about. But the going through that event, that tragedy, still sucks, no matter what. I feel bad for the people in Lahaina. Lahaina? Maui? Nothing. Nothing's being done, right? Now we had this devastating tornado in Nebraska, right? Yeah, one guy, young kid, he seems like a really cool cat. Flair, Andrew Flair. Him and his wife, they just had a baby, and a tornado went through, destroyed his pole barn, did some damage to his house. It all sucks. I'm sure he's going through emotions off camera, but he's got big shoulders. He's got to carry the weight to support as far as the emotion to get through the situation that they're in. A person like that has a lot more financial means than the average person. And you see the property and the kind of home he built. The kid's doing very good, which is really cool for that family. But it's like they didn't expect where they built their home, where they're going to lose it. They didn't lose the home, all the damage and all. It's just what they have to go through. And all the people where their homes were leveled. Now what? Now to go through the steps, now you got to rent a place or trying to find rent, or it's just when things in life happen. That's like the highest, most severe type tragedy you could happen on a financial side. I'm not talking about a death. I'm talking about material, things that happen. Whether it's your vehicle or like I say, you get physically sick or anything of unexpected things that make a difference on in your finances. All these unexpected costs. And I was aware about the truck, about the transmission. It wasn't like unexpected, like, oh, now what? I knew it was coming. I knew eventually. I thought I was off the hook. Like, I'm hooked. Okay, now I got to get this. And then all of a sudden it stopped. I'm like, okay, well, not doing it. Why fix something, right? Kind of like you bring your car in, my car's going ding, 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 ding. You pull in the mechanic, there's no ding, 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 ding. You know how people describe, the noise that's happening. Um, it just, oh my God, that's just how life is. And, you know, and it happens to everyone. It's just a matter of how you yourself, as a person, as a human being, handles the situation. I think the right way is you always go through your emotions. You get like, shit, whatever. It's like, gosh dang it, what the hell? If you have some savings, that's why it's so important to have some savings in the bank to cover, certain things. And, it just trying to stay on your feet and stay afloat. It's more or less, you're up here. How many people are just like treading, and they're just keeping their chin above the water? Or you got the person that's in a buoy, a tube, and they're just coasting. Things are cool, right? Then all of a sudden, something pierces the tube. Like, oh shit. It's kind of like that, the comfort, the unexpected. So my truck is on its way to, let me pause this. I'm going to pause and then I'm going to look. I guess I could do this live. It doesn't freaking matter. The video. I'm loaded up and headed down to the Springs. And I will respond. Awesome. So my truck is on the way to a transmission shop my mechanic recommended. And I'm going to trust him. I don't know. If I lived in Chicago still, I would know where to go. I don't know anything out here. We've been out here for 11 years. I just don't know shit. But everybody, thanks for watching. And yeah, leave something in the comment of what was one of your unexpected deals. It really wasn't expected. I didn't think this was going to happen, to be honest with you. So I thought I was good. I literally did. I thought, I'm like, well, maybe whatever it was, it's good. No, I guess we'll find out when they open up the trans and rebuild it and see what's going on inside. And it'll be cheaper than doing a replacement because the way these guys do it, the whole new torque converter and the way they do everything, the gearing. I'm not a transmission guy. I don't know the actual details of that. I wish I did. That'd be cool. But they said it'll be just like new. Obviously, the casing and all that isn't new, but hopefully nothing else is damaged. And that's why my mechanic said, don't drive it. I drove from here to there, which was 1.7 miles. And, but yeah, we'll find out. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. And keep your head up no matter what hits you. It sucks. Go through the emotions, go through the moment, then put a plan together. Put a solid plan together and figure stuff out. Have a good solid circle with family and friends. Sometimes you need a little help. And that's what happened to us over a year ago, 18 months ago. Family helped us out, paid them back. I'm grateful, very grateful. And all I said is, like, I never want to be in that position again. And as hard as we save, we're saving as hard as we can. So when shit happens, we're ready for it, All right, guys. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, be legendary.